Anyway, continuing. So that's when I shifted to bike. I had a Splendor back then. My dad had a Splendor, and I used to ride that to my college every day for 3 years. After which, I kind of started growing into motorcycles, mainly because how easy it is to travel in the city, and the amount of freedom that you get on a motorcycle, because you can kind of go anywhere. Car, you have limitations. The road is too narrow, you cannot go. Bike, it's like as long as your these parts fit in till the end. What is it called? As long as your handle is fitting, you can go. Car is like, even if both your what is it called, side mirrors are being able to like just about to scrape, you can't go, because then coming back is in reverse is also a little bit of a big task. So you have that freedom in motorcycles. I think that's what I kind of liked and grew into. And when I started earning, I was like, I should get myself a little bit better bike so that I can cut time to how long I take to travel. I didn't think of anything speedy as such. I just wanted to get a motorcycle which was better than a Splendor in terms of performance. Nothing too crazy, because I used to hit 60-50 on my Splendor. So I just wanted a slightly better average bike. Average performance, not mileage. I don't think any bike can beat Splendor's mileage. I was looking at bikes and I was like, the options I had in my mind were RC390. If I didn't have a budget, then R15, because R15 is like very much under the budget. 2 lakhs, very much doable. But if budget allowed, then RC390. Or I was looking at R3. When I was doing that, I noticed that both of these bikes came in the budget, Interceptor and Continental GT. So I was like, might as well add them in the list. I didn't like them at that point, but I was like, we'll see how they are, because it's a big commitment, right, to get a motorcycle. So might as well see what we like. And then once I started looking at motorcycle reviews and more photos and more vlogs about these bikes, I started falling in love with the Splendor. Splendor. Started falling in love with this Continental. There's no such reason as such. I think it just happened, because I've seen most people say that, is it because it goes fast? Because I think it's like a combination of everything. Looks, speed, performance, torque. Even though I don't speed much, it's good to know that you can. Like in case of some emergency, I can push it and rely on it. Same thing with torque. It's good to know that I can climb a mountain without having the pillion to get down, which I recently experienced actually in Bolumalai Fort. And apart from that, what else? I think even the retro look and that class that you get on this motorcycle, no? You don't get it on anything else at this price point, at least. I mean, the Thruxton looks beautiful, sounds beautiful. Same with the Triumph Speed Twin. But those are way out of my budget, man. Those are like easily 2-3 times the cost of this one. And it make no sense comparing those motorcycles with this. Plus, there are a lot bigger CC bikes as well. This one's a 650. Those are like 900, 1200. And that's how I bought this. And it's been a beautiful journey of almost 7,000 kilometers in 6 months. So we're averaging 1,000 kilometers a month, which is nice. I don't do any crazy curves. What is it called? Leans on curves, because these are not meant for that. This is just meant for you to chill and enjoy the road. I mean, curves, I can do leans. I do leans, but not like crazy, because these are not meant for them, right? There's no point in trying to make it do something it's not. If I were to get RC390, then that's a different case. Those bikes can lean a lot more than these. If I had got the Interceptor, then I might have... I'm not sure. I don't think I would have ever gotten the Interceptor, because There was something about this riding position that made me comfortable. I, in fact, didn't even take take the test drive of the Interceptor. I just was like, GT is my choice. This Interceptor seems a little bit more laid back and a little bit more chill. I like this. And now that Siddharth has bought the Interceptor, I have driven it like once, I believe. Not for a long distance, maybe like 5 kilometers. But I was so uncomfortable when compared to how I am on this bike that I was glad I didn't. It could be that I grew to this bike to fit the ergonomics of this bike, so I was more comfortable here, and I was not on that. But yeah, whatever it is, man, this makes me feel nice. So this works for me. Find what motorcycle works for you. It could be a crazy sport bike. Even though you want to do long distances, you might find a sport bike working more for you. If you're somebody who wants to do short distances, but a cruiser is something you like and something that you find comfortable, go for it, man. There are motorcycles built for certain elements. Now see, that's a speedy bike. If I'm not wrong, that was an RR 310 or a Duke 390. I couldn't tell. I was not paying attention. But regardless of what the motorcycle that was meant for speeding. If you're somebody who enjoys the thrill, doesn't matter if you want to go long, doesn't matter if you want to go short. Get it, man. You will adapt to your bike. Your bike will adapt to you. You don't have to worry too much about what category the bike comes under. Of course, if you're somebody who wants to do long distances and your sole purpose is to do long distances, then you might be a tiny bit more comfortable on a cruiser or an adventure, because those machines are built for those. But that doesn't mean you can't in a cruiser. You can't in a cafe racer, you can't in a sports tourer, or you can't in a naked bike. You can. You definitely can do anything in any bike. Don't have the excuse of, oh, but I want to do this. Remember, find a machine that you purely enjoy, because at the end of the day, you are the person who's going to ride it. Forget about what other people say, forget about what other people find comfortable. I don't care what people say about this bike. I'm comfortable, and anytime I park the vehicle, I look back. That's all you need in life. At least in the motorcycling life. If you're talking about life as a whole, then that's a different story, and I'm no one to coach for that. But yeah. But yeah, regardless of motorcycles, this is one thing that I pretty much request everybody to get done. Everybody I know, at least. So if you're watching this video, then I'm requesting you as well to get good gear. Always wear a jacket, gloves, helmet. I know it's not possible for everybody to wear it, but then, not everybody can afford it, but get something that works for you, like for your price point. Now, I cannot tell you to go get the most expensive jacket, the most expensive gloves, the most expensive helmet, but try getting as much as you can for your budget. If your budget is very less, try allocating a little bit more, because it's very important that you're safe on your motorcycle. Motorcycle gives you a lot of freedom, but it also makes you very vulnerable. So it's very important you take good care of yourself, man, because no offense, but if anything happens to this motorcycle, I can rebuild it. If anything happens to me, then I don't know to how much I can rebuild myself, right? Because everything in my body is organic, and not everything can be fixed in my body if something goes, God forbid. Not that I believe in him, but regardless, in this machine, no matter what part of it goes, I can always replace the part, or for a whole, I can replace the entire motorcycle, right? The exact same motorcycle, I can always find it. Let's say these are no longer in production, I can still find somebody who wants the same color, somebody who's made it in the same batch. It's always possible. I think you guys are getting what I mean. If you don't, then I'm sorry, I'm terrible at explaining certain things. And if you are planning to go on any long rides, then this is something that I've learned myself. Make sure you get good amount of sleep before you start the ride. Do not hurry. Do not try speeding on your ways, because if it's a long distance, then trying to get there faster is not going to what is it called, put you at a better place unless it's an emergency. But it will put you in a lot of risk, because every second you overspeed beyond a point, you're putting your life in danger. It's simply not worth it. For the thrill, you can sure pull it once the road is empty and everything, there's no other vehicle, etc., etc. But if you really want to just enjoy motorcycling, then I would suggest you find a sweet spot. For me, it's 120. For you, it can be 100. It can be 140. But make sure that sweet spot is not too dangerous. Oh my dear Lord! See, if I was any faster, that would have been dangerous. King guy. I could have. You know what could have happened right now? I could have three things could have happened. Option 1, I could have crashed into that bus. Option 2, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a Fortuner behind me, which could have pushed me into that bus if I was able to stop. And option 3, nothing happened, which is what happened. But the other two options or alternatives are extremely dangerous. So it's always good to be in like a safer spot. I might be talking too much. I don't know. This is how I am. This is how we roll. In terms of speed, when it comes to lanes, I tend to usually stay in the... If I'm going slow, I stay in the last lane. If I'm sitting at 120, which I usually do on highways, no, I sit in the middle or the last, the rightmost, because you usually don't have vehicles traveling faster than that. Hello? కాడుగుడి దగ్గర వస్తుండే నేను. హలో, వస్తాండు, వచ్చేసింది ఇంకేం 5 minutes. See, that was my family. So always remember, there's somebody waiting for you at home. Sounds like one of those highways board quotes, but it's very much true. I think another major suggestion that I would give to people who are trying to get into the motorcycling, not vlogging side, but I mean just motorcycle, joining groups or riding together solo, whatever. If you plan on going on motorcycle rides or plan on owning a motorcycle, then another advice I would give is make sure you don't listen to fast music. I don't know how applicable this is to you guys, but what happens with me is that when I listen to fast-paced music, without my knowledge, I tend to kind of go on a little bit on this faster side or more aggressive side. I don't think fast is the right word, but aggressive definitely is the right word. Maybe if possible, I will try proving it sometime. At the moment, I don't remember any clips that I have which can prove that. But just make sure you're not riding too aggressively, and make sure you're not trying to catch up to anybody by being very far behind. You're not trying to catch up to somebody up front and do extremely speeding out of your capacity and control. If you're going in a group ride, it's the group's responsibility to stay with everybody together. It's not your responsibility to make sure you're keeping up with them. It's their responsibility to make sure you are with them. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but in most of my group rides, I make sure that everybody in the group are in visible distance, because that's why it's a group ride, right? If I were to just go extremely fast, then I couldn't just go on a solo ride. I can just fuel up my bike and just get on the highway and just go as far as I can and as fast as I can. But group rides is about going with your group, having fun, making memories that you probably won't forget. Emphasis on probably. Just kidding, man. You will never forget any group ride that you go on. There might be some or the other core memory that will stay with you. Uh, I will give you a very funny incident that happened to me. Recently, me and my friends had gone to a Goa and Bangalore trip, and we had gone in two cars. Okay, I was driving one car and Humaid was driving one car, and nobody else in the group knows how to drive a car. So what happened is, we were in two cars, and I think, if I'm not wrong, we were 7 people. I don't recall exactly if it was 7 or 8. Seven, right? We were 7 people. And what happened was, we stopped at a toll on the way towards Mangalore, right? We stopped at a toll because these guys wanted to urinate, and unfortunately there were no washrooms, so we had to urinate in the what is it called, nature. And when that was happening, right, we all sat in our cars and we started moving, and we drove for about 200-300 meters up forward towards our destination, which was Mangalore, first destination. And then we get a call from one of our from the other car saying, "Bro, is Chinmay with you?" And we're like, "What do you mean, is Chinmay with us? Isn't he with you? Because he was not in our car." And they're like, "No, bro, we thought he was in your car." And then we took a U-turn and we went back to the toll. And as we were walking, going towards the toll, no, like after the U-turn, we saw our friend walking towards our cars. It was so hilarious because what happened is, the people in that car thought he was in our car, and we thought he's in that car. So we didn't think of that. We didn't think of anything, and we were just riding. But Chinmay on the other side, he thought we were just pranking him, and we were on the corner of the road. So he waited for a while to see if anybody would do anything. And it was extremely funny. That is one core memory I have for that Mangalore and Goa trip that we went on. And before that, we went on a Mangalore ride as well. That also I have a core memory. What happened is, we wanted to see the sunrise in the Ghat sections. So we managed to. We were in one car that time, and we were 5 people. We managed to get to the sunrise viewpoint by 5:30, I believe. And we were just waiting for the sun to rise. We were just parked, and there was a beautiful waterfall, like very tiny but waterfall right next to us. You know how it is in Ghats, right? Tiny waterfalls. So we were listening to the water. It was extremely aesthetic and extremely nice. But what happened was, somebody was whistling. Now, excuse me. Now all of us were singing songs as we were going to that destination, right? I mean the viewpoint, right? So I was like, somebody else. I was looking at one of my friend called Humaid. I think you guys know Humaid. So I was looking at Humaid, and Humaid thought I was whistling, and he was looking at me. And then there were 2 other people, Siddharth and Adnan. Adnan or Chinmay, I don't remember, but one of them. And we were looking at those guys. None of them were singing. And we all thought that it's Simon who's whistling, because he was in the car. He stayed back in the car. He was sleeping. So he was in the car lying down. So we thought he's just whistling to just mess with us. So they were like, "Bro, I think it's Simon only." I was like, "Oh, that's possible." And then I went to check if it was Simon, just to see if he's fooling around. And that man was sleeping. And things got instantly like serious, sort of, because everybody's freaking out, ki who's whistling. And you know, if anybody's playing a prank, no, we are kind of, all of us are terrible actors, so it's kind of very evident if we're trying to play a fool out of somebody. But everybody was serious, and it was not only that we were trying to maintain a straight face, it was that everybody were worried. You can see that fear in that face, no? So we were like, "Oh my god, who is whistling?" And then we were everybody was like pin drop quiet, and we could hear the waterfalls, and the birds and other things from the forest. And then we heard the whistle again, and all of us shit our pants. We're like, "Oh my god, looks like there's somebody here." And since those are ghats, no, and like there was the road wasn't very busy at that time, all of us were worried if it was like some sort of, you know, not tribal people, but I mean tribal was one choice. The other was that any sort of gang who does robbery or murders or anything of that sort. So we're like, oh my god, and we all just sat in the car and we instantly took off. And then all of us were thinking, ki, who could it be? Who could it be? What could that sound be? And they were like, bro, could it be this? Could it be that? And we're all just like, no, bro, if it was this. All of us were just trying to figure out what was the sound, because that was very evident it was a whistle. And almost after half an hour of thinking, we thought of one option, which was that it was a bird. And since there was no network, no, we weren't able to quite look it up. But as soon as we got a little outside the Ghats, we looked it up, and it sure as hell was a bird that stays in that forest. And it was so funny. That was also another core memory. So yeah, I think one should not miss any group rides or group trips. You might have memories that you will take to your grave. So don't miss them. That's at least what I think of group rides or trips, group, just anything. Even solo rides and trips also, I don't think you should miss out on any. Make a plan, explore. There's a lot to explore, man. We have such a beautiful world, but we are most of the time just stuck in our little simulation. Break free, explore, have fun. You don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money on it. There's always an alternative, a cheaper alternative. Be safe and explore, enjoy the world. And cherish every moment that you are here. And come on, if you do find any good spots, let me know. Share it with a buddy. Share it with your buddy. Let me also explore something nice. I recently went to Bolumalai Fort and Davanhalli Dam. Davanhalli Dam, I think didn't have much actually. It was just a normal dam. But since I went in a group of friends, no, and we had a plan of eating breakfast there, which we picked up. What the hell, bro? We have unfortunately a roadblock. That's very sad. This is usually how we go home. I guess we have to go up and then take Hope Farm and then take a left, which is kind of sad. Maybe they're doing the metro work, that's why. What was I saying? Yeah. Let me know of any places that you guys really enjoyed, and I will try paying a visit and exploring it myself as well. And if I do, of course, you'll see it in a vlog. And if you want me to go to any places, even though you haven't been there, but you think it looks nice, let me know. I would like to go to new places regardless, whether you've been there or not. It doesn't matter a lot. If you have been there, I'd like, if possible, what you did there, how long you stayed there, so that I have a base itinerary to build on. Else is not really an issue, just let me know. I will figure out. I'm not an itinerary man. I just do what I feel like doing at that moment. Random trips and last minute things seem to work for me. Planned stuff sometimes doesn't go well. Last minute always goes well. Because you don't have expectations, right? Keep your expectations low and enjoy. I'm out of breath. 2 reasons. I've been yapping from when I left. Literally the entire ride. I don't even know how I'm going to edit this, because I've noticed when I'm editing my video vlogs, no, I talk so much, and it's that I'm not just talking random stuff. No, each thing that I say adds something to me. It's credible for me. It's not just some random gabagoo stuff. So cutting something feels very sad, but what to do? You guys would get you guys would probably get bored if you listen to all of my brain. I don't want to make you guys me. Oh, what is that? 2016. Look at the photo, guys. Look at the graphic. Problem and then solved. If you guys have similar problems, yeah, I'm not saying anything. You can look up the solution. Idiot inside. This truck tempo guy is just some mad lad. Either extremely depressed or extremely savage. It's definitely the first one, but I'm not going to be sure. I can't use be sure.